Great morning. Great morning. It feels so good to be live with you this morning. How is everybody doing this morning? I hope you are in a state of amazement. We are closing out 2017 and we are dreaming big, large, and in charge for 2018. So, what's your dream in 2018? What's your dream for 2019? What are your dreams for 2019? Excuse me, I'm sorry. 2018. I was jumping ahead of myself. What do you want to do? What do you want to have come into your life in 2018? Now, I talked about the family meetings and getting those things together in preparation for those, in preparation for 2018. What is it that you want? You know, that has to be one of the most amazing questions, I think, when it comes to our lives, because we oftentimes can talk about all the things we don't want. However, what we want, that's a whole different story. And that's what we're talking about this morning. It feels absolutely wonderful to be with you live this morning, talking about a subject that's close to my heart because I've spent the last 2 weeks interviewing people, literally interviewing them as I'm writing up my plan for 2018. But before we even get started with that, great morning. And what do we do on Saturday morning? We give the shout outs. And so I want to give some shout outs this morning. For example, and I'm actually flipping back through my phone here, and I got to just tell you, I appreciate Rabbi. Oh my goodness, Rabbi Abukar from Africa was the first person to give the check mark to say, hey, Brent, good morning. I like it. Good morning to you, my darling. It is very, very good to be saying hello to you this morning. I also want to say hello to Lena, who is an associate. And let me see if I can get it right. Lena Milai? I hope I said that right. Great morning to you, Lena. It is great to have you with me. I want to give some shout outs to some amazing individuals. I want to start off by giving a shout out to Albertha Bogan, who was an event ambassador for me this past week. Thank you. She was absolutely awesome for an event that we did this week, and it was a workshop. I want to also give a shout out to Carrie Brown, another amazing woman who I appreciate tremendously, who served as an event ambassador. And then Juanita Grant. No, darling, I didn't forget you. Thank you for being an ambassador. I appreciate you tremendously. I want to give a shout out to Tom Maloney. I worked with him this week, and he had some amazing nuggets to share. Tom, thank you. And I want to give another shout out to Kareem Ayers from Ayers Technology. Thank you for taking time out to be interviewed by me, and I hope that, no, it was a good exchange. I know it was because you said so. So I want to make sure that I acknowledge folks. I want to thank you all very, very much. I want to give special shout outs to Pamela Stone and also Robin Tennille, some amazing women that have stuck with me through the thick and thin. Love you all dearly. Give a shout out to Dr. Wright, Letitia Wright, who is up at 6 o'clock on Saturday morning. How do I know this? Because she'll send me a message. That's how I know. So good morning to you. What do we do with the phone? We press the button and share with other folks. Let them know to join in on the broadcast. Get some nuggets, get revitalized, get ready for 2018, because guess what? It's already here. It is a dot away. What are you dreaming about? What would you like to see come alive in your life in 2018? Dreaming big. Oftentimes we curtail our dreams. They get very, very small. It is time to dream large and be clear about what we want and be okay with it and be okay with being selfish about what we want. We want to make sure we're not hurting anybody. We want to make sure that we're on the legal side of things. However, if we are, if we're ever going to get the things that we aspire, that we want, whether it's wealth, whether it's family, whether it is legacy, whatever the case may be, it has to start with us getting clear about what we want. You see this instrument in my hand? This is an instrument. This is a very powerful instrument because with it, I can write down. And when I write things down, I get clear. How about you? Because right now, this isn't about me. This is about you. So, exercises between now and the end of the year. Clarity. Go into, you are the CEO of your life, yes? We are. We're the CEOs. We are the chief executive officers of our lives. And if we do not take control of them, guess what? Somebody else will. So when we think about this, in order to go into 2018 understanding our finances, for example, what are you going to do with the check that you get at the end of the year, with the check that you get from your tax return? What are you going to do with it? Do you have some clarity on that right now as to what you're going to do? Is it written out so that you can see it clearly? How does it fit into your financial plan? Because I'll tell you what, when that check comes in, if it is not earmarked for things that things that need to be done, or for those dreams, goals, and aspirations, it will get peeled like an onion, and poof, it's all gone. Now, please, please, please do not tell me it's spent yet, unless what you're telling me is it's spent for the down payment on a piece of property or the down payment on an acquisition that will have a return for you, that it is earmarked for some stock that you've gotten a tip on. Unless it's one of those, I am saying to you, it is time. You and I have been on the broadcast now for 3 years. So I want you to take a look. It is time for reflection so that when we write the dream out, because the dream is the plan, when we write the plan out, that we are very, very clear. Again, more often than not, and I speak from personal experience, during these interviews that I had, and I've been interviewing folks, and you say, well, why are you interviewing people, Brent? I'm interviewing because I am feeling a metamorphosis coming on. I am feeling a transformation. Transformation is trajectory. All of a sudden, you're there. Have you ever had that in your life where all of a sudden you're not able to explain it? You can't quantify it to somebody. What you can say is it just, and suddenly I was there. That's transformational. It's not linear. It's not personal change. It is, it happened. You hear something and it was the right thing for you. And suddenly you could be in a room with 100 people and you're the only person that hears this particular content. Why? Because you were in the moment. You understood, you were clear about yourself, and you understood, and therefore it spoke to you. In my other activities, I am a business clarity coach. That word clarity is so powerful. So, how do we dream big? What is it that you need to do? What is the plan? Well, it starts off by exhausting your brain and writing out all the things, all the dreams, all the goals, everything Like I shared, this is the best couple of weeks of the year. People are relaxed, they're gay, they're giddy. And it's this time when the pressure is not intense and you get to write out all of it. And you write and you write and you write until there's nothing left. And after you do all that, then go to trusted individuals, the top people that you would put your life in their hands, and ask them about you. What are your strengths? What are you great at? What is it that you know unequivocally, hands down, you don't have to think about it? And add that to the list. So the first, all the dreams, goals, aspirations, everything you want. That next list is everything that you are great at. That third list are the things that you would shoot yourself if you did again. It's a woosah. So again, what is it that you want? Do you want the house? Do you want the commercial real estate? Do you want to know how to buy stocks and bonds? Do you want to set up trust? Whatever it is that you want to do in 2018, that's the formulation, that's the start. And then we go to the interview, and it's only trusted people, only trusted individuals that you're going to talk to. It might be 2, 3. When you look at me, what do you see? What capabilities do you see? Because sometimes people see things that we do not see. What capabilities do you see in me? Then what things should I never ever want to do again in life? I got a few on the list. And the top one, I won't share that because I do not want to mar anybody else's dreams. And then do a comparative. Do a comparative of what they see because you've already seen it by way of your dreams. See what they see about you. And then line those dreams up in order. Take the top 10 of those dreams and write out what it would take for you to make them your reality. What would it take? And then what are you actually willing to do? See, that's why it is a process. Did you hear me go step by step by step by step? We don't start at number 5 and work our way back on this. We're starting at number 1 and working our way to it. There was something that I talked about in the workshop that I did this past week. By the way, the workshop was entitled, I Want My Life Back. No, I want it back better. Because we've already done whatever we did that got us to the place that we were at, and unless we are at that place of euphoric satisfaction, then when you say, I want my life back, you want to go back and repeat it? No, that's why you want it back better. Yes. And so what we're saying, what I'm sharing with you in writing that out is we've got to start with what are the dreams? Dream huge, big, large, and in charge. And if you've got children, invite them into the dream. What are they dreaming about? So that you can make it an individual thing, you can make it a family thing. And this is the most ideal time of year to initiate the dream, to cause it to become, to put the energy into the universe so that it delivers back to you. Which leads me to another shout out, and that is to a gentleman by the name of Ren Ayers. Ren is a therapeutic massage therapist. He is extraordinary and awesome. And I bring that up to you because in having had that therapeutic massage, what it did was it opened up, it relaxed the body out, and it gave the brain a chance to clear out the stuff so that what was left was the magnificent, was the aspirational. Now, I know this is totally contrary to what I typically talk about, but it's that time of year. It's create opportunity, create opportunities, expect results. So, the items that are on your dream list, your think big dream list, those are the opportunities that you are creating. You are putting them in order. You are writing out the plan that's going to get you there, and you're expecting the results. Now, come on, come on, come on. You and I both know we need to work the plan. It doesn't happen just we put it in our mind, we forced it into the universe. In order for the universe to deliver, we have to work in the spirit, in the sphere of the dream that we laid out. And do not limit yourself. Do not limit yourself. Give yourself every possibility to create the lifestyle, to create the wealth, to leave the legacy. That's the journey we took. That literally is the journey we took. And if there is nothing else that I have left you with, I hope and pray that I've left you with the ability to make it happen. Why? Because we have spent about, on a weekly basis, 52 weeks. So let's cut it back and say 48 due to unforeseen occurrences, the broadcast didn't happen, whatever the case may be. 48 broadcasts per year times 3 years. On my channel are all of those. 48 times 3 years. So now, if I've left you with nothing, I've left you with content that you can utilize, you can listen to repetitively. All about the wealth, all about the how do we get there? What kind of things do we need to do? So if you started from grassroots and scratch, it's about transformation. Grassroots to transformation. We can do it. Yes, we can. Now, let me share with you why the pen and the paper. Dr. Letitia Wright, medical doctor, coach, superstar, California, talked to us as a group during a break in the conference, and she talked about our neurotransmitters in our brain. And what she said about the neurotransmitters in the brain is the connection, the manual connection between the pen to the paper to the brain. You will hear other great speakers talk about our neurotransmitters. We are exercising, massaging the brain. One of the studies that's been done on Alzheimer's has to do with the fact that when we leave our jobs, if we do not have some sort of structure in our lives, we start to move, we start to go downward. And these are actual studies of the brain and how the brain functions. The brain needs stimulation, and it needs stimulation often. Reading gives us stimulation. Watching self-help gives us stimulation. Stimulation. Stimulating our brain, exercising our brain to take actions helps us to define and to move forward. Have you ever heard a mindless, I just want to do something mindless? Don't want the brain to be stimulated beyond where it's at. No, we're pulling it out. And what did I share with, or what have you heard me preach about, talk about throughout 2017? I talked about the bell curve. Remember that? I talked about the bell curve. And what I shared with all of us is that 2018 is a pivotal year. It's the start of a pivotal period on the bell curve. Remember that conversation? We said in 2016, that was the start, that was the form stage, and we are now going into a storm stage. And what happens in a storm? Sometimes there's crisis, and in crisis, there's opportunity. Do you know that most millionaires were actually created out of the storm? They were actually created out of the period of time that we are living in. The recession, the depression. Why? Because there's a four-letter word. It is a powerful four-letter word. It's called will. Do you have the will to be successful? Do you have the will to climb out of whatever it is that's going on that is not what you want in your life? Do we have the will to do what's necessary? This is will right here. Going to paper, writing it down, defining it, getting clear with who we are and what we want so that we can manifest it. As 2017 comes to its closing, I want to give to you by way of manifesting, bringing about what we want. And here's the deal. I'm walking this journey with you. I am literally walking the journey this year in particular with you. Why in particular? Because we're going into the storm. People are going to be selling stuff at crazy prices. Something that in 2017 might have cost you $1,000 may cost you 500. Why is that, Brent? Because cash is king. You've heard me preach about cash. Preach about cash. Hold on to it. Because there are things that we are going to be able to do as a result of it. Get those credit cards clean and clear. Why? Because you may be making the down payment on your property with a credit card. Amazing! There has been, will be many a credit card investor born right now. So while many are doing specific things during this time of the year, please do not let that line of credit exceed 50%. Credit begets credit. You will never have as much money as you have credit or access. And we are going to need it because from about 2018 to about 2022. Now, remember, I'm not an economist. I am not a tax preparer. I am entrepreneur. I've been living in the entrepreneurial life for more than 20 years. So I would like to think I know a thing or two or three. Now it's time to exercise and take the journey together. Again, we've been together for 3 years. We've been prepping for 3 years. Hashtag create opportunities. Hashtag expect results. That's the quintessential right now. And here's the beauty. It doesn't matter what country you're in. Does not matter what country you're in. Because again, what you heard me say right from the start is define and write out your dream big goals for 2018. Interview the people that know you and know you well. Become a reporter. Interview others. Interview others in a way that fits into your dreams, your big dreams, or your dream big. Interview them, not necessarily about what their dreams are, but cultivate the question in such a manner that you get answers relative to your dream, relative to the part about what it's going to take in order to cause that dream to become a reality. Maybe you're going to start some kind of business that's going to give you extra money that feeds into your dream. Maybe you're going to partner up with someone. I was at an event this past week, and so the gentleman gave me a serious clue. We were talking about something called angel funding. He says, I'm an angel funder. So I asked him some questions. Well, what's the process that you use when you're funding? You know what he said to me? He says, well, I want to know your team. I want to know what your team is about, what your team is doing. So why is that pivotal to your dreams, goals, and aspirations? Who is your team? Is your team your husband, your wife, your family members, your brother, your sister, your kids? Who are part of the team that's going to manifest your dream? Woo! I like that. Who is on your team that's going to manifest your dream? I am going to write that one down. Hashtag that. I love it. But think about that. So we've got our work cut out for us right now. Manifesting our dream in 2018. Clarity, interview, interview. Mhm. What you will absolutely never again do. I will say this. The word never is not in my personal vocabulary because I remember a woman when I was 12 years old who helped me to get clear on never. However, we'll say the things that we just will not want to do. And that's important to understand what you will not do. There are things, something happened, in fact, yesterday, I said, I'm not going to do that. And are we at that point where we're willing to say, I'm not going to do it, where we're willing to shut the door so another door can open? We can't have both doors open at the same time. It just doesn't work. First of all, too much air will come in, you get cold. It doesn't work. So we're closing that so we could open this. So the clarity around the things that, you know what, you could treat them as pros and cons. Those are the cons. Those are the things that I cannot stop, and I can not do it at the drop of a hand. There are things that it just isn't in your natural ability. And right now, time is of the essence. Then you've got that column there that there are elements that from that first column and the second column, they're comparative elements. We're putting this stuff in order. And here's the deal, the top 10. because typically we're not going to probably get more done than the top 10. And the beauty of looking at the top 10 and putting them in order allows you to allocate time and to focus. You might turn around after you look at the top 10 and say, no, I'm going to cut this list down. It's going to be the top 5. Why? Because you're looking at manifesting it, you're looking at your time, and you're looking at working, because we've got to work the plan. Okay, got to work the plan. And the reality is, I can only work the top 5. That's okay, that's great. So long as you work it, and at the end of the period, you get to say, I made it. Put a deadline on it. Okay, come on, guys. The deadline is not going to be December 31st, 2018. You know why? Because our natural ability is to procrastinate. It really is. It's in our DNA. Put off and put off and put off. And if you've got a real-time list, I am certain that it all is not able to be done in a 30-day period. On December 1st, you wake up and you go, oh, and you try to make it all happen in 31 days. So here is the deal. Follow the process. Thank you, Dr. Wright. Process. Follow the process. I just laid it out for you. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. The process has been laid out. Follow it. Have it all written so that you can be in execution mode by January 1st. So we've got, today is the 9th. You've still got 21 days. There's no time like the present. In fact, it starts today. You've got a pen in your hand right now while I'm talking. Start, let the hand be looking, be listening, and let the hand. Now, I know people have done that where they can be taught, where we can be looking directly at, and they're writing down. See, that's the power of the hand. It's already doing things. And every now and then we look down and we come back up. But if you are so inspired right now, if you are feeling it right now, and notice I used the word inspire. I didn't say motivate. We're grown. I am not here to motivate you. You motivate you. However, I may inspire you. I may inspire you. And if I inspired you, then that's a good thing. Take a deep breath. Let it out. Let's take another one. Let it out. Last one. Did you notice that you might get a little lightheaded if you take in a lot of oxygen? You might get a little bit lightheaded. You wake up a little, you open up your eyes and a little bit. It happens usually after the third drawing in strong of your breath. And when that happens, clarity also happens. See, and generally you hold it for about 10 seconds. Sometimes you feel a little lightheaded, but when you do, there's nothing else blocking it. And that energy can come right to it so that you can write up the plan. What's your dream? What are your dreams for 2018? Are you thinking big, huge, large, and in charge? That's what I'd like to inspire you to be doing today, is because many a person, let's put it to you this way. You would always tell your child to think big, large, and in charge, and you would say there is nothing that's going to get in your way. So I want you to dig deep into the inner child of you. Have the conversation and let the inner child help you. Because something happens when we grow up and the things that of the child go away. Well, this is a time when you as the adult and you as the child, when you let the child inspire you to excellence, inspire you to dream big, write it down so that you can manifest it. Now, the work that goes behind that, interviewing people, that's work. Uh, Formulating the question that will feed into your dream without that dream is your dream, formulating the question so that you can ask it and get the answer is work. Yeah, it is. No doubt about it. We said we have to do work in order to make it happen. So I'm just saying. Oh my goodness. You have no idea of how I have wanted to have this conversation with you. I've been waiting until today for this conversation because it had to be far enough into December to have the conversation. With that being said, I have an announcement. This Monday, December 11th, I hope that you will be joining me for my networking and after party too. If you are part of the Wealth Warrior family, we want you there. It's going to be in Boston on December 11th, starting at 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And here's the deal. All you have to do is to go up to Eventbrite. In the search bar, type in Brent Harding, and guess what? You are going to see the event listed and it will say register, and do that. Why? Because we want to make sure we've got enough hors d'oeuvres and that we've got enough capacity in the room, although I'm certain we do. The layout is going to be fun. We're going to have cafe style in one area. We're going to have another area for those that like to stand up. There is a bar area. So if you like to sit at a bar, guess what? You can do that too. We're going to have some music. We'll have some dancing. And we're going to have some fun. And guess what we're going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about the great things that happened to us in 2017. And we are going to be talking about the good stuff, the great to good that's going to happen to us in 2018. Mr. Tom Maloney is going to actually teach us how to network with each other. We're going to have Economiciento happening there as a result of a very dear friend, Deshaun. We're going to have that going on. We're going to have a lot of different things happening. 2 solid, beautiful hours at the point. Go up to Eventbrite, look up my name, and register. If you like, you can send me a text message saying registration, and I'll send you the link, and therefore you can do that. So you can text registration to 617-438-7949. Again, 617-438-7949. And all you're doing is texting the word registration. I'll send you the link. Register. And we are going to have, this is how I go out in 2018. I go out with a party, and it's an after party, and it's a celebration. And then I go into work mode, the will right here. Oh my goodness. With that being said, I want to say thank you for being with me this morning. I'm just going to take a quick look and see what else that we have, who else has said hello and all the rest of the good things. There are some comments coming in from Lena. Thank you so much for your comments. I appreciate that tremendously. Oh my word, it is a great, great day. Rabbi, thank you so much for being 2018. We're meeting, and I mean in person. I want to touch you and hug you. and say, I thank you so much for following. Again, shout out to Pamela Stone, Robin Tennille, to my ambassadors, my event ambassadors, Carrie Brown, Juanita Grant, and Albertha Bogan. You all are absolutely amazing. Love, kisses, and smooches to you. Dr. Wright in California, thank you for waking up. Tom Maloney, thank you so much for agreeing to show us how to network powerfully. I want to give another shout out and a thank you to Kareem Ayers for an amazing interview. You are greatly appreciated. For everybody that came and supported my workshop this week, thank you. Kit Pang, thank you, thank you, thank you. Brooke Brace, thank you. You know what? Here's my point. When I said all the thank yous and acknowledgments, it goes like this. None of us gets there by ourselves. None of us gets there by ourselves. It takes a team. Who's on your team? What are your dreams for 2018? Come on down to the point and share with us on Monday evening. That's December 11th at the point. You take care. Have an amazing remainder of the day. Have the will to succeed. Take care.